when my older son was 11 years old, which was actually the year after the fatwa, and it was really very bad time, I had promised him that I would write a book for him. I mean, he would say, you know, why don't you write books that I want to read? And so I did this deal with him that if I could finish the book I was writing, which turned out to be the Satanic Verses, I would, after that, write something for him. And then I came to feel that that was a promise that I had to keep. And so I wrote Haroun and the Sea of Stories. And in the most amazing way, this little book that I wrote to please one child, it's the only time I've ever looked for an audience of one, you know, has become this kind of rather extraordinary thing. It's had this wonderful afterlife. You know, it's been a play in the National Theatre in London, it's been an opera at Lincoln Center, and now, amazingly, it might actually be a sort of super colossal movie.
Oh.
Yeah, I mean, it looks like David Lippman, who produced the Shrek movies, wants to do it, and Alan Parker, Evita, and so on, wants to direct it, and they want to do it as kind of live-action animation mixture, and you know, and they're talking about absurd numbers for the budget. And so this tiny little book, you know, could end up being the thing that I get remembered by. And now I'm trying to do another one. That's the problem, because now I have another 11-year-old son. And he says, where's my book? And there's no answer to that, really, except to write one. So I'm writing one.
You're at work on that?
That's what I'm doing. And yeah, I mean, I actually have to say, of all the books I've ever written, well, I mean, Midnight's Children had a wonderful response, and so did some of the others, but the reader response from Haroun and the Sea of Stories is more pleasurable than anything I've ever had. Because children, you know, are remarkable. They tell you the truth and so on. And I mean, I get these, I don't otherwise very often get fan letters which begin, Yo, Salman. But the people who write to me about Haroun, they do. Salman. Yeah, I mean, I've always, my all-time favorite fan letter, which came out then, so the girl who wrote it, who would have been 12 then, would be, you know, 30 now, from Massachusetts somewhere, and she said, she asked me various questions, and she said, kindly reply at once, because when I grow up, I intend to be either a writer myself or a world leader. I thought, you know, reply now, because 20 years from now she's going to be president. And maybe she will, you know. But so there's a great pleasure in writing for children. And then, of course, you discover you've written for everyone else.